Men Online. I'm Dan. This is Jeremy.
Hello.
Spoilers ahead for Iron Claw 2023. 2023?
Yeah.
Spoilers ahead for The Iron Claw 2023. Brand new movie. Came out right before Christmas. It is a movie about professional wrestling, but more importantly, it's about the Von Erich family.
Yeah, I thought it was more about professional wrestlers than professional wrestling. Like,
Yes.
I don't think I know how professional wrestling works at all. Like the way the fights were shot, like the dad was watching it, like, oh, is he gonna win? Is he gonna win?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of strange because I think other than the one match where Kevin Von Erich does his move, but like really does it on Ric Flair, I think other than that, they were all predetermined. So I don't know why he's like that way with it. But they do a nice thing where they're like right in the beginning, they give you a little idea of how the matches work out. They do a little bit of the two opponents, the tag teams are talking about how, kind of just doing a quick rundown of the match. So I thought it was pretty interesting. What was the other one? There was another point where, oh, the girl, Kevin's girlfriend slash wife, eventual wife, she's like, she's asking him, "Isn't it
Isn't it
fake?
fake?
What does
Yeah.
this title even mean?" And he explains like, it's not fake. It's kind of you build your way up in the company, that kind of thing, and the the title is the badge of honor, essentially.
Yeah, but like that doesn't really apply as much if the dad is saying, "Oh, we deserve it, but they didn't give it to us."
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing I was thinking. It's like, well, the family never got the title because they never either got in good with the promoter of NWA or somebody else came along. Kind of like when Harley Race, the guy, there was a couple funny moments with that, but kind of the guy who had the title,
Mm-hmm.
he loses it to Ric Flair because someone like more popular came along first and superseded you. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the guy did a really good Ric Flair impression too. You ever watch anything Ric Flair related?
No, I think he was like kind of gone by the time I was like, but like the only time I ever watched wrestling, like when it was actually on TV, was Hulk Hogan's Kid Patriot arc.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I watched like any of like the normal stuff.
Not like NWO or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Wow. That's what I thought you were going to say. They're going to say Stone Cold NWO.
No, I mean I didn't grow up with cable, and we only had like a couple channels.
Yeah, so you definitely weren't allowed to watch WWF because that was on, what, USA for 30 years or whatever.
I don't think I had US like when I got the first time I had TV, like actual TV with like enough programming to like really count for anything other than like watching like CBS, NBC was when Burn Notice was on USA.
Oh, yeah. Burn Notice was solid. Kind of a villain of the week's thing, but I liked
Burn
it.
Notice was the first good TV show I watched.
Yeah. So, what were your expectations like going into this, or did you not know anything about it?
I didn't know the Iron Claw was about wrestling.
Oh,
Like you said, watch the Iron Claw, and I said, all right, I'm gonna go watch it. And so the Iron Claw could have been about a ninja with an iron claw, for all I knew.
my father-in-law asked me if it was a Marvel movie. Sounds like one. Iron Man, Iron Fist, Iron Claw.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it wasn't a Marvel movie because you told me to watch it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm surprised Sam Jackson wasn't cast as the dad and Jackie Chan as the mom. I was very surprised that they didn't, you know, swap everything around. But I thought Zac Efron was excellent. And the dude that played David, the guy that died first, I said spoilers, right? This movie, spoilers for these poor people's lives, but There are 6 brothers, only 5 in this movie. They completely cut one of the brothers out. So, and 5 of them die.
Not the one, not the one that died and then showed up as like a little kid. It was like they actually just like rewrote the family history to not count. They combined 2 brothers into one brother.
Yeah, so 6 brothers, 5 dead, 3, 4 via suicide. No, 3 via suicide. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
I'm guessing you know a little bit about these people in real life that I don't. Is it true that out of the entire family, one of them was insanely jacked and all the others just look like guys?
No. If you look up Kerry Von Erich, he's the guy that lost his foot. He's probably the most jacked out of all of them. But Zac Efron went overboard.
Yeah, so Kerry was jacked. But Zac Efron was so jacked, it took me out of the movie. I'm like, how is this guy eating hamburgers looking like that? You don't look like that even eating hamburgers semi-casually.
That's why he was just biting the same already bitten spot the whole part of it. But yeah, they said he was doing actual wrestling training for that and eating like they do, and he was just jacked, just so shredded.
Oh yeah, he was eating, through his hip muscle.
Yeah.
There's no way that's natural.
Apparently, Zac Efron was. That's what they say, at least. I don't believe everything I read, but that's what.
Oh yeah, so is The Rock.
Oh yeah, The Rock. Yeah. Dude's 55, looking freaking swole out of his mind. The thing that I didn't know, so Kerry is the one that I knew, like, as a kid. So he died in 1993. He killed himself in 1993. But he was actually in WWF for a short time, so that's where I know him from. I was very young.
So was he an active wrestler when he killed himself, or was he out of it for a couple years and then?
That's a good question. I'll double check that. But with him, I did not know he had, and they do mention it in the movie, but I didn't know he had one foot.
Really?
It's insane.
You would think they would like play that up somehow.
Yeah. But I guess somehow he kept it from everyone. I don't know. And I remember typing in my notes while I was in the theater. If it was 2023, the dude would be like a total legend. Because not only would the technology be better for the prosthetic, but he would be propped up on a pedestal for being able to overcome, and rightfully so, being able to overcome it. So, yeah, it's sad. Did you tear up at all in this movie?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is the only movie this year that like really made me feel feelings.
Yep, same here.
I was like, I mean, and the thing is, like, there weren't many people in the audience, so like I could hear individual reactions, and like a lot of people were like sniffing, like the audience was tearing up for my showing. There wasn't much of an audience, but the audience that was there was I was like, wow, this is like the Titanic for men.
Yeah, it was okay, here we go. So I was looking it up while we were talking, but so Kerry was in WWF from 1990 to 1993, and he died in, oh my god, he was in WWF 6 days before his death. Okay, his final match was February 12th. He killed himself February 18th.
Yeah, so I didn't know these. I didn't know that this was even a true story. And so I was thinking, like, this guy's going to OD for sure, because he was like, they showed him like doing heroin twice. And then he was like traveling away from his family for a long time. I'm like, oh, that's got to be like how he's going to go out. Like,
yep.
But no.
Laying in his own vomit in a hotel room or something. Yeah. I did not expect that, but I thought he was going to die in a car crash because I didn't know I knew a couple of the brothers killed themselves, but I didn't know which ones.
Yeah.
So I had some knowledge going in, but the part that got me when, and I'm going to try to say this without like choking myself up, because I also have 5 brothers, one of which is no longer with us. So when he said, I'm no longer a brother,
Mm-hmm.
or I used to be a brother when he was sitting there watching his kids, that is when, I'll tell you right now, that got me. So if you guys got brothers and sisters out there, go and, appreciate them while they're here. That got a little, this is a dark story, so it's going to get a little dark, but yeah, that's the part that I was like, oh my God, I can't handle this. And Zac Efron was awesome in this. Not only was he shredded, and unfortunately these guys were in tighty whities the whole time, but yeah, he was excellent. So
I mean, overall, the acting on it was good from beginning to end.
yep.
Like the guy who was a little goofy, like in real life, I think was a little goofy in the movie, but then like when it came time for him to, be really depressed because his brain wasn't working anymore and he couldn't play the guitar, it just hit.
Yep.
That's the scene that got me, was when he's like, I'm not, I forget his name. He's like, I'm not that guy anymore. I'm someone
Michael,
else now. Yeah,
the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But all of the deaths were the way they died, and the only other brother that they didn't show in the movie died via suicide as well, Chris. So,
Yeah.
one thing that
I read an interview by the director. He said when they were putting it together, and he said like the movie was too long, and it was just too dark. So like they didn't, most of the time they make stories like too exciting or too tragic for reality to make it into a movie. This one, they dialed it back because the director was like, this is too much. I can't make the real movie because it was too much.
Yep. Yeah. They do a little thing at the end where it says the Von Erich family was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, little thing at the end. But another thing they did, and this wasn't a publicity stunt from AEW, but the Kevin was in AEW recently with 2 of his sons, Ross and Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those were the 2 sons they showed in the movie, because that would have been mid 90s. So yeah, they'd be in their late 20s, early 30s. So yeah,
I'm surprised that he wants his sons in wrestling, like the way it went for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I still can't get over just like how bad that parenting is.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, one of the first movies is like, Mom, you gotta say something, and he's like, that's between you guys.
Yeah. Dad's too hard on Mikey.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Unreal. And then Carrie calls Kevin literally the night before he commits suicide. Like, man, the curse has me, because it's the Von Erich curse, and whether you truly believe that it's a thing or not, it sure got dark quick. And he calls his dad because Kevin lives with his family, a bit away from the family home, and
yeah,
the dad's like, well, he called you, so you deal with it. Unbelievable. Fritz, that's his name. Fritz Von Erich is the dad. But yeah, I for this one, I sat and I thought about it when I got home. Then I slept and I thought, and boy, I love this movie. I'm not ready to give a rating yet, but my goodness, there's a really cool scene where Kevin is grieving after his second brother died, after Michael takes the pills and kills himself. And they're doing this awesome scene where he's running the ropes like in and out of like into blurry vision and out, like back and forth towards the camera. I thought it was excellently shot. It was really nice. And in terms of Ric Flair, the guy's Ric Flair promo was pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite Ric Flair level, but as an impression, I'm for it. But when they were doing the actual wrestling match and Flair was chopping, Kevin, not very good. Nature Boy Ric Flair was the best at the chops across the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Google a Ric Flair compilation of him chopping the shit out of folks. It's amazing.
You should
And then the Flair strut was
like in the details for this one. You should put in like a good Ric Flair promo and like a Ric Flair chop compilation so that everyone can enjoy it.
Oh yeah, down in the description, I'll put both of those. That's a good idea. And I'll send them to you too.
Yeah, that way I can find the good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if that promo wasn't up to Ric Flair levels, then I want to see like a real promo. That's why I've got the biggest car full of 29 women. But then he's like, he's in the back. He's like, hey man, where can we go get drunk? And I'm like, how long is that limousine full of women gonna sit there just idling?
Oh, they'll wait till he's ready.
Is there a bathroom in that limo, or like?
Oh, it was good, and when Kevin snaps on him and injures him, he comes back, he's all bleeding. He's like, "Oh, good stuff. I'll give you a rematch anytime."
So, like, I guess like the whole thing of like landing outside the cage, and like him like being really hurt, is that something that, like wrestlers just do to each other? Like, I'm gonna fuck this guy up by messing up the move.
Well, so he had never taken a bump, they call it, on cement before.
Okay, so he never. So he didn't know. He just had a new trick he just did live.
Yeah. Yep, that's not the time or place. I guess I didn't know ESPN struck a deal with them for like actual like a wrestling show. That it was in like the late 80s, so before we were born, but I don't know. Or early 80s? I don't remember now. But yeah, ESPN doesn't seem like the place.
I mean, ESPN has the UFC now, so I mean, it kind of is the place. And the UFC is becoming a little more WWE-like every day.
You know what other scene got me as well? Is after Kerry kills himself and Kevin brings him, sets him on the kitchen table or the dining room table, whatever. And there's like the afterlife scene. It started to choke me up, and then Kevin like mouth kisses him while he's on the dining room table, and that took me out of it. That was weird, I thought.
I kind of came out of it when like they did the whole "we're by a pond in heaven."
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's a little bit too wishful thinking for me.
Yeah.
And also, if you die as a kid, are you just gonna be a little kid forever?
True.
Is heaven just gonna be full of like aborted fetuses just laying all over the place?
Let's hope not.
There's like 7 billion of these. Oh my god! Gonna have to get some. Gonna have to get some like what's like a snowshoe version of. Never mind.
The other thing I wanted to mention was when he has the match with Harley Race, like towards the beginning. Harley Race throws the ref out of the ring, and I want to see if there's like maybe like a DVD commentary on what happened to that ref, because the ref gets like caught on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a really bad bump, and I'm laughing in the theater because the ref got like guillotined on the rope, and he was just supposed to go through the middle, but they kept it in. I guess if the ref freaking he's in a neck brace for like the next 3 weeks. He's like, you better keep that take.
Has anyone ever been like hurt from like rolling around on the ropes like that? I always assumed like that, like the ropes were pretty forgiving, because like they always do the tricks where like he's got like one neck under the rope and one neck above the rope, and then like they jump on them, and those just look like kind of like strings. Like I always thought the top one was taut, and the other two were just kind of like whatever.
Oh yeah, they're actually high tension cables with like pleather wrapped around them, or like plastic. Yeah, they're actually like solid steel cables. So yeah, there have been many people. There's actually a guy that died. I don't know how he I don't know the exact cause of death, but there's a guy, Rey Mysterio, who's been around forever. He like did his regular move where he trips the guy into the middle rope, and he like landed wrong and like caught his throat and ended up dying at the hospital. Pretty wild.
Rey Mysterio or the other guy?
Rey Mysterio. No, the other guy died.
Okay, I was
Rey
like, I think I would have known if Rey Mysterio died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, for the entertainment value that wrestling gives, I just don't quite understand the damage they take.
Right.
Some of it's fine, but like, I'm always kind of like, okay.
That's pretty much all I got for this.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about this one because, I mean, it's basically a true story, and it's really sad, and it's like, no, it's not like a bunch of things I can make fun of or highlight because it's just one long, it's one long, very sad ride.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't take your kids to it.
No. We can do some ratings when you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, probably like 9.5 out of 10 on that one, really.
Yeah, there's no other way to go. For me, it's a 10 out of 10. I love this movie. We're going to talk about our top movies of 2023 in a video. And not to spoil it, but this is my number one movie of 2023. So,
yeah, it's number 2 for me. So,
yeah, excellent. Absolutely excellent movie. Highly recommend, but be warned, it's quite sad, especially at the end. Like in the beginning, it's fun. You know, it's still kind of like, ooh, this family's a little weird.
I thought the beginning was like started off kind of sad, and there were parts in it where I was like, okay, now I'm kind of bored.
Yeah. But
then like that's like the first third, and then it's just full on waterworks from there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna make me sound, emotionless, but I don't like cry a lot in movies, and it's not like a tough guy thing, or like I'm not even trying to portray that. It's just how it happens. But this movie got me.
Look, I'll be honest. Like I'm not the hardest mark in that. Like I think season 2 of My Hero Academia made me cry once.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was watching this and I thought, you know what? The reason why people get sadder about dogs dying in movies than people is because they don't like, you instantly care about a dog like right away, but like if you really really get into a character about a human, like it hits you.
Iron Claw came out December 21st and has made $8.5 million. Has not had an international release. I don't know if they plan on one, but 8.5 mil. This movie needs. I encourage everyone to go see this movie. Not everyone. if you can deal with the sad, this movie is top notch.
It's a great first date, let me tell you.
She'll definitely put her head on your shoulder. I'll tell you that much.